Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the best free and open source video editors out there, OpenShot. If you're a beginner looking for a simple, powerful tool to start your video editing journey without spending a dime, you're in the right place. In this step-by-step guide, I am going to walk you through everything you need to know to go from zero to editing your first video. So, let's get started. First things first, you'll need to download and install OpenShot. Just head over to OpenShot.org, click the download button, and grab the version for your operating system, whether it's Windows, Mac, or Linux. The installation is straightforward. Just follow the on-screen instructions. Once it's installed, go ahead and open it up. When you first launch OpenShot, you'll see a clean and simple interface. Don't let it intimidate you. It's actually very user-friendly. Let's break it down into three main sections. On the top left, you have the Project Files window. This is where all your media, your video clips, audio files, and images will live. Below that, on the bottom, is the star of the show, the timeline. This is where you'll arrange and edit all your clips to build your video. And on the top right, you have the Video Preview window, where you can watch your creation come to life in real time. Alright, let's get our hands dirty and import some media. You can do this in a couple of ways. The easiest way is to simply drag and drop your files directly from your computer's folder into the Project Files window. Alternatively, you can click the green plus icon on the toolbar that says Import Files, navigate to your files, and add them that way. Go ahead and import a few video clips, maybe a background music track, and a logo or image you want to use. You'll see them all populate in the Project Files section. Now for the fun part, building our video on the timeline. The timeline is made up of layers called tracks. Think of these like transparent sheets stacked on top of each other. Whatever is on a higher track will appear on top of whatever is on a lower track. To start, simply click and drag one of your video clips from the Project Files window down onto track 1 in the timeline. You can see your clip represented as a blue bar. Now, drag another clip and place it right after the first one on the same track. If you hit the play button in the preview window, you'll see one clip play right after the other. It's that simple, but what if you only want to use a part of a clip? This is where the Razor tool comes in. It's one of the most essential tools in video editing. Let's say your clip is 30 seconds long, but you only want to use the 10 seconds in the middle. Move the playhead, that's the red vertical line, to the spot where you want your selection to begin. Then, select the Razor tool from the toolbar. It looks like a pair of scissors. Click on the clip at the playhead's position. You'll see it splits the clip into two parts. Now, move the playhead to where you want the selection to end and click again. You've now isolated the part you want. You can right-click and remove the unwanted parts at the beginning and end. Then, just drag the remaining clips together to close the gap. Let's add some visual flair with transitions. Transitions help your video flow smoothly from one clip to the next. In the top left, you'll see tabs for transitions and effects. Click on the Transitions tab. You'll see a bunch of options like fades, wipes, and slides. To add a transition, simply drag your chosen one from the list and drop it onto the timeline where two clips meet. You'll see a little blue box appear over the cut. Now, when you play it back, you'll see a smooth transition instead of a hard cut. The most common and professional-looking transition is a simple crossfade, so try starting with that. Next up, let's talk about audio. A good video needs good audio. You've already imported your background music track, so drag it from the project files down to a separate track on the timeline, usually below your video clips. You'll notice the music might be much longer than your video. You can trim it just like you did with the video clips using the Razor tool. One important tip: background music should be in the background. Right-click on your audio clip in the timeline, select volume, and then entire clip. You can lower the volume level, maybe to around 10 or 20%, so it doesn't overpower any speech in your video. A great feature is the ability to fade audio in and out. Right-click the audio clip, go to Volume, Start of Clip, and choose Fade In. Do the same for the end of the clip, choosing Fade Out. This makes the music start and end gradually, which is much more pleasant for the viewer. Now, let's add some text and titles. Maybe you want to add an intro title or put your name on the screen. Go to the Title menu at the top of the screen and select Title. OpenShot has a bunch of great-looking, pre-made title templates. You can pick one, customize the text, change the font and color, and then save it. Once you save your title, it will appear in your project files window just like any other piece of media. From there, you can drag it onto a track above your video clip on the timeline. Remember what I said about layers. Since the title is on a higher track, it will appear on top of your video. You can drag its edges on the timeline to control how long it stays on screen. Let's not forget about effects. OpenShot has a simple but effective library. Click on the Effects tab. Here you'll find things like brightness and contrast, hue, and color shift. To apply an effect, just drag it from the list and drop it directly onto a video clip in the timeline. A small letter icon will appear on the clip, indicating an effect has been applied. You can right-click the clip and go to Properties to fine-tune the effects settings. For example, you can use the brightness and contrast effect to make a dark clip a little brighter and more vibrant. Play around with these, but a good rule of thumb is that less is often more. Once you're happy with your masterpiece, it's time to export it. This process creates the final video file that you can share with the world. Click the red circle icon on the toolbar that says Export Video. This will open the Export dialog. Give your file a name and choose where to save it. For the profile, all formats is usually a good choice. Under Target, you'll see options for different platforms like YouTube or Vimeo, as well as general file types like MP4. For most purposes, MP4 with the H.264 codec is the standard. Under Video Profile, you can select the resolution and frame rate. 1080p at 30 frames per second is a great standard for YouTube. Finally, choose a quality setting. High is usually a good balance. Then, just hit the Export Video button. It will take some time to render, depending on the length and complexity of your video and the power of your computer. And there you have it, your complete beginner's guide to editing videos with OpenShot. We covered setting up your project, importing files, making cuts, adding transitions, working with audio, creating titles, applying effects, and exporting your final video. OpenShot is a fantastic starting point for anyone new to editing. It has all the essential tools you need to create polished and engaging content. The best way to learn is by doing, so I encourage you to open it up, import some random clips from your phone, and just start playing around. A super handy and totally free video editor called Avidemix. If you've ever needed to make quick cuts, apply a simple filter, or just trim a video without all the complexity of a massive professional editing suite, then Avidemix is going to be your new best friend. It's lightweight, it's fast, and it's perfect for those straightforward editing tasks. So, stick around, and I'll walk you through everything you need to know, step by step, to get started with Avidemix today. First things first, you need to download and install Avidemix. Just head over to their official website, avidemix.org. You'll see download links for Windows, Mac, and Linux, so it works on pretty much any computer. The installation is straightforward. Just follow the on-screen prompts, and you'll have it up and running in a couple of minutes. Once it's installed, go ahead and open it up. You'll be greeted by a very simple, clean interface. Don't be fooled by its basic look. There's a lot of power under the hood. The layout has a menu bar at the top, some quick access icons below that, a preview window in the center, and some key settings on the left-hand side. It's designed for efficiency, not for flashy visuals. Now, let's get our hands dirty and open a video file. You can do this in two ways. Either go to File in the top menu and select Open, or just drag and drop your video file directly into the main window. Avidemix supports a wide range of video formats like MP4, AVI, MKV, and more, so chances are your file will open without any issues. Once your video is loaded, you'll see the first frame in the preview window. Below the preview, you'll find the timeline slider. You can drag this slider to scrub through your video and find the exact points you want to edit. You can also use the player controls right below it to play, pause, and step through the video frame by frame, which is super useful for precise editing. Alright, let's tackle the most common task, cutting or trimming a video. Maybe you want to remove the beginning and end of a clip, or cut out a section from the middle. Avidemix makes this incredibly easy. First, use the timeline slider to navigate to the exact point where you want your video to start. To be really precise, you can use the left and right arrow keys on your keyboard to move one frame at a time. Once you're at the perfect starting point, click the button with the little red flag on it. This sets your marker, or the start point. Now, scrub through the video to find where you want the clip to end. Once you've found that spot, click the B button right next to the button. This sets your B marker, or the end point. You've now selected a specific segment of your video, so what can you do with this selection? If you just want to keep this selected part and get rid of everything else, you're almost done. You've basically told Avidemix, I only want the video between marker A and marker B, but what if you want to cut a piece out of the middle? It's just as simple. Set your A and B markers around the section you want to remove. Then, just hit the delete key on your keyboard or go to the edit menu and select cut. Boom, that section is gone. You can repeat this process as many times as you need to clean up your video and remove any unwanted parts. It's a fantastic way to quickly edit out mistakes or long pauses. Now that we've trimmed our video, let's talk about saving it. This is where Avidemix has a powerful feature called Copy Mode. On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see 3 drop-down menus: Video Output, Audio Output, and Output Format. By default, both video and audio output are set to copy. This is the magic of Avidemix. Copy mode means the software doesn't re-encode your video. It just copies the existing video and audio streams and saves them into a new file. Why is this a big deal? Because it's incredibly fast. Since there's no re-encoding, saving your trimmed video takes seconds, not minutes or hours. Plus, it maintains the original quality of your video, which is a huge bonus. So, if all you did was cut your video, leave these settings on copy. Next, you need to choose an output format. This is basically the container for your video, like MP4 or MKV. A good rule of thumb is to match the output format to your original file's format, if possible. The MP from Muxer is a safe and very common choice that works almost everywhere. Once you've selected your output format, you're ready to save. Go to File, then Save, give your new video a name, and make sure to include the file extension, like MP4. So, you type something like my edited video. MP for a hit save, and watch how fast it finishes. It's seriously impressive. This copy mode workflow is the #1 reason I recommend Avidemix for quick trims. But what if you want to do more than just cut? What if you want to apply filters, like cropping, resizing, or adding a logo? This is where you'll need to move away from copy mode. In the Video Output drop-down menu on the left, choose an encoder instead of copy. A very common and compatible choice is the MPEG for AVC, also known as X164. This tells Avidemix that you want to re-encode the video, which is necessary when you're making changes to the video frames themselves. Once you've selected an encoder, the Filters button right below it will become clickable. Go ahead and click it. A new window will pop up, which is the Video Filter Manager. On the left, you'll see a list of available filters categorized by type, like transform, colors, subtitles, and so on. Let's try a common one, cropping. Under the transform category, double-click on crop. A new window will appear over your video preview. You can either type in the number of pixels you want to crop from the top, bottom, left, and right, or you can simply click and drag the green borders in the preview window to visually set your crop. It even has an auto crop feature that can detect black bars and crop them for you. Once you're happy with the crop, click OK. You'll see the crop filter now appears in the active filters list on the right. You can add multiple filters, and they'll be applied in the order they appear in this list. For example, you could crop first, then resize the video. After you've added all your filters, you can close the Filter Manager. Now, your video output is set to an encoder, and you have active filters. The audio output can usually be left on copy if you haven't made any changes to the sound. Just like before, select your output format, like MP for Muxer. Then, go to File, Save, give your file a name with the extension, and click Save. This time, the saving process will take longer. Why? Because Avidemix is now re-encoding the entire video, applying your filters to every single frame. The time it takes will depend on the length and resolution of your video and the speed of your computer. But this process is what allows you to make powerful changes to your video's appearance. Let's quickly touch on a few other useful features. Under the audio menu at the top, you can select a different audio track if your video has more than one. You can also add an external audio track, which is great if you recorded audio separately and want to sync it with your video. Avidemux also has a job queue. If you have a bunch of videos you want to process with the same settings, you can set up the first video, and then instead of saving it, go to File and Add to Job Queue. Then you can open the next video, apply settings, and add it to the queue as well. Once you've added all your jobs, you can open the job queue and run them all at once, which is a huge time saver for batch processing. So there you have it, a beginner's guide to getting started with Avidemux. We covered how to install it, open a file, perform simple cuts using the super fast copy mode, and how to apply filters by re-encoding your video. While it might not have all the bells and whistles of a professional editor, for quick, simple, and efficient video editing, Avidemux is an absolutely incredible tool to have in your arsenal. It's free, it's fast, and it gets the job done without any fuss. I highly encourage you to download it and play around with it. The more you use it, the more you'll appreciate its simplicity and power. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this guide was helpful and gets you on your way to editing your videos with confidence. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Video editing on Linux, and we're tackling a real powerhouse, Cinelera. If you've been searching for a free editor that packs some serious professional-grade features, especially for compositing, then you've come to the right place. Cinelera has been around for a while and has a reputation for being incredibly powerful, though some find its interface a little different from mainstream editors. But don't worry, in this step-by-step guide, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know to get started, from installation to exporting your first project. By the end of this video, you'll feel right at home in the Cinelera environment. Ready? Let's get started. First things first, let's get Cinelera installed on your Linux system. Depending on your distribution, the process might vary slightly. For Debian-based systems like Ubuntu or Mint, you'll typically add a specific repository to get the latest version. For Arch Linux, it's often available in the Arch User Repository, or the official Cinelera GG website is your best friend here. They provide detailed, up-to-date instructions for most major distributions. Just head over to their site, find the guide for your system, and follow the terminal commands they provide. It's usually a matter of copying and pasting a few lines. Once the installation is complete, you'll find Cinelera in your application menu. Go ahead and launch it. When you first open Cinelera, you'll be greeted by its unique 3-window layout. This can be a bit surprising if you're used to single-window applications like DaVinci Resolve or Kdenlive. Let's break it down. The main window is the program window, which also contains your timeline. This is where you'll do most of your editing and sequencing. The second window is the compositor, which is your preview monitor. This shows you the video at your playhead's position. The third window is the resources window, which is like your media pool and effects browser combined. It's where you'll manage all your video clips, audio files, and find all the effects and transitions. While it might seem a bit scattered at first, this modular layout is actually very powerful, especially if you have multiple monitors. You can arrange these windows however you like across your screens. Now, let's bring some media into our project. Go to the Resources window. You'll see a folder structure on the left. Navigate to the directory where you've stored your video and audio files. To load a file, simply right-click on it and select Load Files. You can also use the File menu at the top of the program window. Go to File, then Load Files. Once loaded, your media will appear in the main area of the Resources window. Cinelera is non-destructive, meaning it references your original files without altering them. This is a standard practice in professional editing software. Take a moment to load a few video clips and maybe a background music track to practice with. With our media loaded, it's time to start building our sequence on the timeline. The timeline is located at the bottom of the program window. You'll notice it's already populated with video and audio tracks. To add a clip to the timeline, you first need to patch the tracks. Look for the small V and a buttons next to your media files in the Resources window and on the timeline tracks. Make sure the V on your video file is aligned with the video track you want to use, and the A is aligned with the audio track. This tells Cinelera where to place the video and audio components of your clip. Now, simply drag the clip from the Resources window and drop it onto the timeline. You can place it anywhere you like. The clip will snap into place, and you'll see its representation on the timeline and the first frame in the compositor window. Let's talk about basic editing. The most common tasks are trimming and cutting clips. In Cinelera, the main tool for this is the playhead, which is the vertical line that moves along the timeline. To make a cut, position the playhead where you want to split the clip. Then, you can either right-click and select split or use the keyboard shortcut, which is typically the C key. This will divide your clip into two separate parts. You can then select and delete the unwanted portion by hitting the delete key. To trim a clip, move your cursor to the beginning or end of the clip on the timeline. The cursor will change into a trim icon. Click and drag to shorten or lengthen the clip. This is a quick way to fine-tune the timing of your edits. Practice cutting and trimming your clips to create a rough cut of your sequence. Now, what about adding transitions? Cinelera handles transitions a bit differently. Instead of dragging a transition between two clips, you typically overlap the clips on the same track. When you drag one clip to overlap another, Cinelera automatically creates a crossfade. The length of the overlap determines the duration of the fade. You can see this fade represented visually on the clip. But what if you want a different transition, like a wipe or a dissolve? For this, you'll use the Effects engine. In the Resources window, click the Video Effects or Audio Effects drop-down. You'll find a massive list of options. Find the transition you want, like wipe, and drag it onto the overlapping section of your clips. An Effect Settings window will pop up, allowing you to customize the transition's properties. It's a powerful system that gives you a lot of control. Let's not forget about audio. Basic audio editing in Cinelera is straightforward. You can adjust the volume of an entire audio track using the Tracks Volume fader on the left side of the timeline. To adjust the volume of an individual clip, you'll want to use the Gain effect. Find it in the Audio Effects list in the Resources window and drag it onto your audio clip. A window will pop up allowing you to increase or decrease the gain for that specific clip. You can also create audio fades by overlapping audio clips, just like with video. For more advanced audio work, you can apply effects like equalizers, compressors, or reverb in the same way you apply video effects. Just drag them from the Resources window onto your audio clip and tweak the settings. Once you're happy with your edit, it's time to render and export the final video. Go to the File menu in the Program window and select Render. This will open the Render dialog box, which has a lot of options. Don't be intimidated. First, make sure the Render Video and Render Audio boxes are checked. Next, you need to choose your output format. Click the File Format drop-down. A common and web-friendly choice is MP4. After selecting MP4, you may need to configure the video and audio compression settings. For video, H.264 is the standard. For audio, AAC is a great choice. You might see these as options within the MP4 container settings. Set your desired resolution and frame rate to match your project settings. Finally, give your file a name, choose a destination folder, and click the check mark or OK button to start the rendering process. Cinelera will show you a progress bar, and when it's done, your video will be ready to share with the world. So there you have it, a beginner's guide to getting started with Cinelera. We've covered installation, understanding the interface, importing media, basic editing, adding transitions and effects, working with audio, and exporting your final project. Cinelera is an incredibly deep program with a ton of advanced features we didn't even touch on, like motion tracking and advanced compositing nodes. But with the fundamentals you've learned today, you have a solid foundation to start creating your own amazing videos. The key is to practice and not be afraid to experiment with all the effects and tools it offers. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this guide helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more tutorials on open source creative software. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or what you'd like to learn about next. Happy editing! Looking for a powerful, free, an open-source video editor on Linux. Meet Flowblade, a fast, stable, and professional video editing tool designed for creators who want full control without paying those expensive subscription fees. In this video, I'll show you step-by-step how to get started with Flowblade, from installation to exporting your final project. Let's dive right in. First things first, let's get Flowblade installed on your Linux system. It's super simple. Open up your terminal and type the command sudo apt install Flowblade. Go ahead and press enter. Type in your password if prompted, and let the installation process run its course. It's usually pretty quick. Once it's all done, you can find and open Flowblade right from your Applications menu, just like any other program. Easy, right? Alright, now that you have Flowblade open, you'll be greeted with the option to start a new project. Click on New Project, and a little window will pop up. Here, you can set your project's properties. I usually go with 1080p Full HD at 30 frames per second, which is great for most online content. Pick the settings that work best for your footage and click OK. This will open up your main editing workspace. You'll see the timeline at the bottom, the media library on the left, and the video preview monitor on the right. This is where the magic happens. With our project set up, the next step is to import the media files you want to use. This includes your video clips, any background music, sound effects, or even images. Look for the Import Media button, which is usually in the top left area. Click it, navigate to where your files are saved on your computer, select everything you need, and click Open. You'll see all your selected files pop up in the Media Library panel, neatly organized and ready for you to start building your video. Now for the fun part, adding your clips to the timeline. The timeline is the long horizontal area at the bottom of the screen. This is where you'll arrange your story. Simply click and drag a video clip from your media library down into one of the video tracks on the timeline. You can drag in as many clips as you like. Once they're on the timeline, you can rearrange them by dragging them left or right to change their order. Think of it like building a visual puzzle. This is where you start to piece together the narrative of your video. No one gets the perfect shot every time, so trimming and cutting are essential. To get rid of unwanted parts of a clip, you can use the trimming or cutting tools. You can trim a clip by grabbing the edge of it on the timeline and dragging it inward to shorten it. For more precise cuts, position the playhead where you want to make a split and use the cut tool, which often looks like a razor blade. Once you've split a clip, you can select the unwanted section and simply press the delete key to remove it. This helps you keep only the best moments and makes your video flow much better. To make your video look more polished and professional, you can add transitions between clips and apply various effects. Flowblade comes with a good selection of both. To add a transition, like a simple fade or a cross dissolve, you can often drag it from the effects panel and drop it between two clips on the timeline. To add an effect, select a clip on the timeline, then open the effects panel. You'll find things like color correction to adjust brightness and contrast, or stylistic effects like blurs and sharpening. Experiment with these to enhance the look and feel of your footage. A video isn't complete without sound and text. You can add background music or a voiceover by importing your audio file just like you did with your video clips. Then, drag the audio file onto an audio track in the timeline, which is located just below the video tracks. To add text, like an intro title or lower thirds, use the Title tool. This will open up a text editor where you can type your text, choose your favorite font, adjust the size and color, and even add a background. Once you're happy with your title, it gets added to your media library, and you can drag it onto a video track just like a regular clip. Once you've arranged all your clips, added effects, polished your audio, and created your titles, it's time to export your masterpiece. Look for a Render or Export button, which is usually found in the top toolbar. Clicking this will open the render window. Here, you'll choose your final video format. MP4 is a great all-around choice for web and social media. You can also select the quality settings. Higher quality means a larger file size. Give your file a name, choose where to save it, and then click the Render button. Flowblade will then process everything and create a single video file that's ready to be uploaded and shared with the world. And that's it. You've successfully created your first video using Flowblade. As you can see, it's a fantastic editor that's free, open source, and surprisingly powerful, making it a perfect choice for anyone creating videos on Linux. So, go ahead and download Flowblade today and start bringing your creative ideas to life. Free and open source video editor. You've come to the right place. Today, we're diving deep into Kdenlive, a fantastic nonlinear editor that's packed with professional features but is still friendly enough for beginners. In this step-by-step guide, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know to get started, from setting up your first project to exporting your finished masterpiece. So, grab a coffee, fire up your computer, and let's get editing. First things first, let's get Kdenlive installed. Head over to kdenlive.org and you'll find download links for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. The installation is straightforward. Just follow the on-screen instructions. Once it's installed, open it up. You'll be greeted by the main interface. It might look a bit intimidating at first with all its windows and buttons, but don't worry, we'll break it down. The default layout has the project bin in the top left, where all your media files will live. To the right of that, you have the clip monitor and project monitor. Below, that is the star of the show, the timeline. And on the right, you'll find your effects and properties panels. This layout is fully customizable, so you can drag and drop these windows to create a workspace that feels comfortable for you. Before we start editing, let's create a new project. Go to File, then New. A dialog box will pop up. Here, you can choose your project settings. The most important thing is to match these settings to your source footage. For most people filming with modern cameras or phones, 108op at 29.97 or 30 frames per second is a safe bet. If you shot in 4K, select a 4000 profile. Don't stress too much about getting this perfect right away. Kdenlive is smart. If you import a clip that doesn't match your project settings, it will ask if you want to switch the project settings to match the clip. Super handy. Once you've set your project folder and profile, click OK. Now for the fun part, importing your footage. In the project bin area, you can either right-click and select Add Clip or Folder, or you can simply drag and drop your video files, audio files, and images directly from your computer's file explorer into this bin. I like to keep things organized, so I'll create a few folders within the project bin by right-clicking and choosing Create Folder. I'll make one for video, one for audio, and one for graphics. This makes finding your assets so much easier, especially in larger projects. Double-clicking any clip in the project bin will load it into the clip monitor. This is where you can preview your raw footage before adding it to the timeline. In the clip monitor, you can set in and out points to select only the part of the clip you want to use. This is a fundamental part of video editing called three-point editing. Play the clip or scrub through it by dragging the playhead. When you get to the start of the section you want, press the I key on your keyboard for in. Then, find the end of the section you want and press the O key for out. You'll see a blue bar appear, marking your selection. Now, you can just click and drag this selected portion from the clip monitor directly down into your timeline. See that? You've just made your first edit. Let's take a closer look at the timeline. The timeline is where you'll build your video sequence. It's made up of tracks. By default, you'll see video tracks like V1 and V2, and audio tracks like A1 and A2. Video and audio from the same clip are linked together. When you drag a clip to the timeline, the video part goes on a video track and the audio part goes on a corresponding audio track. You can add more tracks by right-clicking in the track header area and selecting Insert Track. Having multiple tracks is key for layering things like B-roll, titles, and background music. The basic tools for trimming and arranging clips are located right above the timeline. The default tool is the Selection tool, which looks like a cursor. You can use it to select clips, move them around, and trim them. To trim a clip, just hover your mouse over the beginning or end of the clip until the cursor changes to a double-sided arrow, then click and drag. The Razor tool, which looks like a pair of scissors, is for cutting clips. Select the Razor tool, click anywhere on a clip in the timeline, and it will split it into two separate clips. This is great for cutting out mistakes or creating jump cuts. Remember to switch back to the Selection tool to move the newly cut clips. The keyboard shortcut X for the Razor tool and S for the Selection tool will speed up your workflow immensely. Now that we have some clips on the timeline, let's add some transitions to make the cuts smoother. The most common transition is a simple cross dissolve. To create one, just overlap two clips on the same track. Kdenlive automatically creates a dissolve where they overlap. You can click on this transition to adjust its duration and type in the Properties panel. For other transitions, go to the Effects panel. You'll find a category for transitions there. You can drag a transition, like a wipe or a slide, and drop it at the cut point between two clips. The project monitor will show you a preview of how it looks. Don't go crazy with transitions though. A simple cut or a quick dissolve is often the most professional choice. Next up, let's talk about adding B-roll. B-roll is supplementary footage that you cut away to, which helps illustrate what the speaker is talking about and keeps the video visually interesting. Place your main footage, or a roll, on track V1. Now, drag your B-roll clip onto a track above it, like V2. Position it over the part of the roll you want to cover. When you play it back, the video on the higher track, V2, will be visible. You can trim and adjust this B-roll clip just like any other. You can also adjust its size and position. Select the B-roll clip on the timeline, go to the Effects panel, and search for the Transform effect. Drag it onto your clip. Now, in the Properties panel, you can change the scale, position, and rotation of that clip. This is perfect for picture-in-picture effects. No video is complete without text and titles. To create a title, go to the project bin, right-click, and select Add Title Clip. This will open the title editor. It's a pretty powerful tool. You can type your text, change the font, size, color, add a shadow or an outline, and even align it. There are tools to draw shapes as well. Once you're happy with your title, click Save. The new title clip will appear in your project bin. You can then drag this title clip onto a video track above your footage in the timeline, just like you did with the B-roll. You can adjust its duration by dragging its edge. This is great for lower thirds, intros, and end screens. Let's not forget about audio. Good audio is just as important as good video. You can adjust the volume of any audio clip directly on the timeline. Select the clip, and you'll see a horizontal line running through it. You can drag this line up or down to increase or decrease the volume. For more advanced control, you can add keyframes. Hold down the Shift key and click on the volume line to add a keyframe point. You can add multiple keyframes to create custom volume fades. For example, you can have background music playing, then dip the volume down when someone starts speaking, and bring it back up afterward. You'll also find a bunch of audio effects in the Effects panel, like equalizers, compressors, and noise reduction filters to help clean up your sound. Once your edit is complete and you're happy with how everything looks and sounds, it's time to export your final video. Go to the project menu at the top and select Render, or you can click the big red Render button above the timeline. This opens the Render dialog. Here, you'll choose your output format. For YouTube, MP for using the H.264 codec is the standard. Kdenlive has a bunch of presets that make this easy. Just select the MP4 preset or look for a specific YouTube preset, which will often be set to 1080p. Make sure you select an output file location and give your video a name. One important tip, under the More Options button, make sure encoder threads is set to a high number, like the number of cores your CPU has, for faster rendering. Then, just hit Render to File. Kdenlive will process your project and create a single video file, ready to be uploaded. And that's it. That's the entire workflow from start to finish. We've covered setting up a project, importing media, basic editing on the timeline, adding transitions, B-roll, titles, and working with audio. Kdenlive has so much more to offer, including advanced color correction, keyframing effects, and multicam editing, but what we've gone over today are the core skills you need to create amazing videos. The best way to learn is by doing, so I encourage you to open up Kdenlive and start experimenting with your own footage. It's a powerful tool, and because it's free, there's no barrier to entry. I hope this guide was helpful for you. If it was, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more editing tutorials. Thanks for watching, and happy editing. After making just a few simple cuts? Do you hate losing video quality every time you re-encode? Well, today, I've got the perfect solution for you. We're diving deep into a fantastic, free, and open-source tool called Lossless Kit. This isn't your typical video editor. Its superpower is that it cuts your videos without any re-encoding, which means it's incredibly fast, and there's absolutely zero quality loss. That's right, zero. It just rearranges the existing data. By the end of this tutorial, you'll be a pro at using LossLessKit to trim your footage in seconds. So, if you're a content creator, a gamer clipping your highlights, or just someone who wants to quickly edit home videos, this guide is for you. Let's get started. First things first, you need to download LossLessKit. Just open your web browser and search for LossLessKit. It should be the first result, usually a GitHub page. Go there, scroll down to the download section, and grab the version that's right for your operating system, whether that's Windows, Mac, or Linux. The installation is super straightforward. Once it's downloaded, just install it like any other program. Now, open it up. The interface is clean and simple, which is one of the things I love about it. Don't be fooled by its minimalist look. This tool is powerful. Let's import our first video. You can either drag and drop your video file directly into the LossLessKit window, or you can go to File and then Open. For this demo, I'm going to use some gameplay footage. The moment you drop it in, you'll see the video player, a timeline at the bottom, and some control buttons. On the right-hand side, you'll see a list of your cut segments, which is empty for now. The main thing to understand is the timeline. You can drag the playhead, this little marker here, to scrub through your video. You can also use the J, K, and L keys for playback control, just like in professional editing software. J goes backward, L goes forward, and K pauses. This makes navigating your footage a breeze. Now for the main event, making cuts. The core concept of LossLessKit is setting a start point and an end point for the segments you want to keep. Let's say I want to isolate a cool moment in my game. I'll drag the playhead to just before the action starts. To set the start point, you can either click this little less than icon, which looks like a left-facing arrow, or you can simply press the I key on your keyboard for in. Now, I'll play the video or drag the playhead to where I want the clip to end. Once I'm there, I'll set the endpoint by clicking the greater than icon, the right-facing arrow, or by pressing the O key for out. You'll see that the section between your in and out points is now highlighted on the timeline. And over on the right, in the Segments panel, you'll see your first cut segment has appeared. It shows you the start time, end time, and duration. This is a piece of the video that LossLessKit will keep. But what if you want to keep multiple parts of the same video? No problem at all. Just find your next desired clip, set a new in point with the I key, find the end, and set a new out point with the O key. You'll see a second segment appear in the list. You can create as many segments as you want from a single source file. This is perfect for creating highlight reels or trimming out all the boring bits from a long recording, leaving just the good stuff. Okay, so you've marked all the clips you want to keep. What's next? This is where LossLessKit's magic really happens. Look at the bottom right corner of the window. You'll see a big button that says Export. Before you click it, let's look at a few important options. By default, LossLessKit is set to separate files. This means it will export each of your defined segments as an individual video file. This is great if you want a bunch of separate clips. But what if you want to join all those clips together into one single video? Simple. Just click on the drop-down menu next to the Export button, which currently says Separate Files, and change it to Merge Segments. Now, LossLessKit will take all the segments you created and stitch them together, in order, into one seamless video file. Let's explore some other settings. You can choose the output format, but for true lossless cutting, it's best to keep it the same as the source. Usually, MP4 or MKV is what you'll be working with, and the app is smart enough to default to the right one. You can also change the output directory if you don't want the new files to be saved in the same folder as the original. For now, I'll leave everything as default, and I'll choose to merge my segments. Now, I'm ready to export. I'll click the Export button, and watch this, it's done. Seriously, that took less than a second. Can you believe it? Compare that to the minutes or even hours you'd wait for a traditional editor to re-render the whole thing. Let's check our output file. I'll open up the folder, and here it is. A new video file that contains only the two clips I selected, merged together. If I play it, you'll see it transitions perfectly from the end of the first clip to the beginning of the second. And the quality, it's identical to the original. Pixel for pixel, perfect. This is because no re-encoding happened. Lost Lesket simply copied the data for the segments I wanted and put them into a new file container. That's the secret to its incredible speed and quality preservation. Lost Lesket has some more advanced tricks up its sleeve too. For example, let's go back to the Segments panel on the right. You can rename your segments here, which is helpful for organization, especially if you're exporting them as separate files. You can also reorder them by simply dragging and dropping them in the list. This is super useful if you decide you want your final merged video to have the clips in a different sequence. Just arrange them how you want, and Lost Lesket will merge them in that new order. You can also delete a segment you don't want by clicking the little trash can icon next to it. It's a very flexible workflow. Here's another cool feature: snapshots. Let's say you want to grab a high-quality thumbnail from your video. Just navigate to the exact frame you want and click the little camera icon at the bottom. Boom! Lost Lesket instantly saves a full-resolution PNG or JPEG image of that frame to your output folder. This is way better than taking a blurry screenshot. You can choose the format, JPEG or PNG, in the settings. This is a huge time saver for YouTubers who need to create custom thumbnails. Now, let's talk about a slightly more advanced but incredibly useful feature: keyframes. You might notice a checkbox at the bottom that says Show All Keyframes. If you tick this, you'll see little dots appear on your timeline. Keyframes are essentially full frames of video that other frames reference. For the most accurate and stable cuts, it's best to cut on a keyframe. Lost Lesket will often automatically adjust your cut point to the nearest keyframe. However, you can force it to make a smart cut, even if it's not on a keyframe, but this may involve a tiny bit of re-encoding just around the cut point to ensure a smooth transition. For 99% of cases, the default behavior works perfectly, so you don't really need to worry about this unless you run into issues. Another amazing feature is the ability to change the rotation of your video without re-encoding. If you've ever shot a video on your phone and it's sideways, you know how annoying it can be to fix. In Lost Lesket, you can just go to the Export settings, find the rotation option, and choose to rotate at 90, 180, or 270 degrees. When you export, it just changes the metadata flag in the file, a process that is instant and, you guessed it, lossless. This is a lifesaver for fixing vertically shot videos that are displayed incorrectly. So, to recap the entire process: 1. Open your video file in Lost Lesket. 2. Use the playhead and the I and O keys to mark the start and end points of the segments you want to keep. 3. Decide if you want to export them as separate files or merge them into a single video. 4. Click the Export button and enjoy your instantly trimmed, full-quality video. It's really that simple. This tool has fundamentally changed my workflow for preparing raw footage. All the trimming and basic cutting happens here, in seconds, before I even think about moving to a more complex editor for things like color grading or adding graphics. It saves me an enormous amount of time. I highly encourage you to download Lost Lesket and give it a try. It's free, it's powerful, and it will make your video editing life so much easier, especially for simple trimming tasks. If you're a streamer, you can quickly chop up a long VOD into highlight clips for social media. If you're shooting long takes, you can easily remove the false starts and mistakes. The possibilities are endless. Stop waiting for exports and start editing fast. In the last video, we covered some amazing options, and today, we're jumping right back in with even more fantastic and completely free, open-source editors that can take your projects to the next level without costing you a dime. First up on our list is Shotcut. This is a true powerhouse in the open-source world. Shotcut is a cross-platform editor, meaning it works beautifully on Windows, Mac, and Linux. What's so great about it? Well, it supports a huge range of video formats, thanks to FempEG, so you probably won't ever have to worry about converting your files before you start editing. The interface might look a little different if you're coming from other editors, but once you get the hang of it, it's incredibly powerful. You get features like 4K resolution support, advanced audio mixing, a wide array of video and audio filters, and detailed color correction tools. It has a nonlinear editor that's robust enough for serious projects but still accessible for hobbyists willing to learn. If you need a free editor that can grow with your skills, Shotcut is definitely one to check out. Next, let's talk about a Linux-exclusive gem, Flowblade. For all you Linux users out there, this one is a must-try. Flowblade is designed to be a fast, precise, and stable editing experience. It offers a modern and intuitive multi-track timeline, which makes organizing your clips, audio, and effects a breeze. It has all the standard tools you'd expect: cutting, trimming, and moving clips, plus some more advanced features. You lines find a good selection of filters and compositing tools to add some creative flair to your videos. Flowblade's workflow is very straightforward, which many editors appreciate. It focuses on providing a solid editing foundation without overwhelming you with a million different menus. So if you're running a Linux system and want a reliable and efficient video editor, give Flowblade a serious look. Moving on to another Linux heavyweight, we have Cinelera. This one has been around for a while and has a reputation for being incredibly powerful, especially when it comes to professional-grade features. Cinelera comes in a few different versions, but they all share a core strength: advanced compositing and effects. We're talking about features that you'd typically find in high-end, expensive software. It supports high-fidelity audio and video, making it suitable for demanding projects. The interface is definitely on the more complex side, so it's not really for beginners looking to make a quick edit. But for filmmakers and video professionals on Linux who need advanced tools for visual effects, motion graphics, and complex layering without the price tag, Cinelera is a unique and potent option. It is a tool for those who are ready to roll up their sleeves and master a professional workflow. Now, let's switch gears to something a bit more beginner-friendly: OpenShot. If you're just starting your video editing journey, OpenShot is one of the best places to begin. It's an open-source editor that's incredibly easy to learn and use. The interface is clean, simple, and based on a drag-and-drop system. You can easily trim your clips, add transitions, and place titles. But don't let its simplicity fool you. OpenShot still packs some powerful features under the hood. It offers an unlimited number of tracks, so you can layer as many video and audio clips as you need. It also has a powerful animation framework for creating animated titles and effects, plus some basic color correction tools. Because it's available on Windows, Mac, and Linux, it's a versatile choice for anyone looking for a free, user-friendly editor that can handle basic to intermediate editing tasks with ease. Next on our list is Kdenlive, and this is a hugely popular choice in the open-source community for a good reason. Kdenlive, which stands for KDE Nonlinear Video Editor, strikes a fantastic balance between ease of use and professional features. It is built on a solid foundation and offers a highly configurable interface and a flexible multi-track timeline. You can customize your workspace to fit your personal workflow. Kdenlive supports a vast range of formats and includes a wealth of effects and transitions. It also has great tools for audio editing, proxy editing for smoother performance with high-resolution files, and even some basic color grading scopes. It's powerful enough for semi-professional work, but still intuitive enough for enthusiastic beginners to pick up. If you're looking for a do-it-all open-source editor, Kdenlive is a top contender and one of my personal favorites on this list. Let's move on to a tool that's a bit different: Avidemux. This isn't a full-blown nonlinear editor like the others we've discussed. Instead, Avidemux is a simple, free video editor designed for quick and easy tasks. Its main strengths are cutting, filtering, and encoding. Imagine you have a video file and all you need to do is trim the beginning and end, apply a simple filter like a crop or a resize, and then save it. Avidemux is perfect for that. It's incredibly lightweight and fast. The interface is very basic, but that's the point. It automates a lot of the process for you. So, if your editing needs are more about simple fixes and conversions rather than creating complex, multi-track projects, Avidemux is an excellent, no-frills tool to have in your digital toolbox. Finally, we have another specialized tool called Lossless. The name says it all. This is a super-fast editor designed for one primary purpose: cutting video and audio files without any re-encoding. Why is that important? Because re-encoding a video takes time and can reduce its quality. With Lossless Kit, you can trim your footage, cut out sections, and merge clips, and the process is almost instantaneous because it's not re-rendering the entire file. It simply cuts the data stream. This is incredibly useful for trimming down large raw footage from your camera, removing mistakes from screen recordings, or quickly chopping up long videos into smaller segments. It's a surgical tool, not a creative suite. For content creators who need to quickly process lots of footage before moving it into a main editor, Lossless Kit is an absolute game changer that can save you hours of waiting. And that wraps up our tour of even more amazing free and open source video editors. From powerful all-in-one solutions like Kdenlive and Shotcut to specialized, time-saving tools like Lossless Kit, the open source community has provided an incredible range of options for every type of creator. There's really no need to spend a fortune to get started with high-quality video editing. I hope this series has helped you discover a new tool that fits your needs perfectly. Let me know in the comments which one you're excited to try out, or if you have another favorite open source editor that we missed. Shotcut. If you're just starting your video creation journey or looking for a powerful tool that won't cost you a dime, you've come to the right place. In this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know, from your very first project to exporting your final masterpiece. So, let's get started. First things first, you'll need to download and install Shotcut. Just head over to shotcut.org, that's shotcut.org. The website will automatically detect your operating system, whether it's Windows, Mac, or Linux, and suggest the right version for you. Just click the download button, run the installer, and follow the simple on-screen instructions. Once it's installed, go ahead and open it up. When you first launch Shotcut, the interface might look a little intimidating with all its panels, but trust me, it's super customizable and easy to get used to. Let's break it down. At the top, you have your main menu bar with File, Edit, View, and so on. Below that, you'll see some key panels. The most important ones are the playlist, the timeline, the preview window, and the filters panel. If any of these are missing, don't worry. You can easily toggle them on or off from the View menu at the top. You can also click and drag these panels to rearrange them into a layout that feels comfortable for you. For this tutorial, I'll keep the playlist on the left, the preview in the center, and the timeline at the bottom. Alright, let's create our first project. In the New Project panel, which usually appears on the left, you can give your project a name. Let's call this one My First Video. Next, you need to set the video mode. This is really important because it determines your video's resolution and frame rate. A good rule of thumb is to set this to match your source footage. If you shot your video in 108op at 30 frames per second, you'd select HD 108op 30 fps from the drop-down. If you're not sure, you can leave it on automatic, and Shotcut will set it based on the first clip you add to your timeline. Once you've named your project and set the video mode, click Start. Now it's time to bring in our media files, our video clips, images, and audio. The easiest way to do this is to simply drag and drop your files from your computer's File Explorer directly into the playlist panel in Shotcut. The playlist acts as your media bin, holding all the assets you'll be using for your project. You can add as many video clips, audio tracks, and images as you need. Once they're in the playlist, you can double-click any file to view it in the preview window. This is a great way to check your clips before adding them to your main edit. With our media ready in the playlist, it's time to build our story on the timeline. The timeline is at the bottom of the screen, and it's where you'll arrange your clips in the order you want them to appear. To add a clip, just click and drag it from the playlist down into the timeline. When you drag the first clip, Shotcut will automatically create a video track labeled V1. You can continue dragging more clips onto this track, placing them one after another. You'll see thumbnails of your clips on the timeline, which helps you visualize your edit. You can zoom in and out of the timeline using the slider at the bottom right or by holding the Control key and using your mouse wheel. This is super helpful for making precise edits. Now let's talk about the basics of editing, trimming, and splitting. Let's say a clip is too long. To trim it, move your mouse to the beginning or end of the clip on the timeline. You'll see the cursor change to a red bracket. Just click and drag it inward to shorten the clip. This is a non-destructive process, meaning you can always drag it back out to restore the trimmed portion. What if you want to cut out a section from the middle of a clip? That's where splitting comes in. Move the playhead that's the vertical white line with a triangle at the top to the exact point where you want to make a cut. Then, you can either click the Split at Playhead button on the timeline toolbar. It looks like a rectangle split in two, or you can just press the S key on your keyboard. This will split the clip into two separate parts. You can then make another split and select the unwanted segment in the middle and press the Delete key to remove it. Shotcut will automatically ripple delete, meaning the clips after it will snap into place to close the gap. A good video needs more than just video clips. Let's add some B-roll and a music track. To add B-roll, which is secondary footage that you lay over your main footage, we need another video track. Right-click in the empty space below your V1 track and select Add Video Track. A new track, V2, will appear above V1. Now, you can drag a B-roll clip from your playlist onto the V2 track. Whatever is on the higher track will be visible. So, you can use this to show a different angle or illustrate what you're talking about. Adding music is the same process. Right-click in the track area and select Add Audio Track. An A1 track will appear. Drag your music file from the playlist onto this A1 track. You can trim it and adjust its position just like a video clip. Now, let's make our video a bit more dynamic with transitions and effects. The simplest transition is a cross dissolve. To create one, simply drag one clip on the timeline so it slightly overlaps with the clip next to it. You'll see a transition zone appear where they overlap. When you play it back, one clip will smoothly fade into the next. You can click on this transition zone and go to the Properties panel to change the type of transition. There are many to choose from, like barn door or wipe. For effects, which Shotcut calls filters, select the clip you want to apply an effect to. Then, go to the Filters panel. If it's not visible, remember to enable it from the View menu. Click the plus icon to add a filter. You'll see a huge list of both video and audio filters. Let's try a common one. Go to the video filters and search for color grading. Select it, and you'll see new controls appear in the Filters panel, allowing you to adjust the shadows, midtones, and highlights to give your video a specific look. You can stack multiple filters on a single clip to achieve complex effects. Adding text is another essential part of video editing. In Shotcut, text is also a filter. Select the clip you want to add text over, or if you want text on a black background, go to Open Other, select Color, and add a black color clip to your timeline. With the clip selected, go to the Filters panel, click the plus icon, and search for text. Simple. You can now type your text into the box that appears. You have options to change the font, size, color, and position right there in the filter settings. You can even add a background or an outline to make your text pop. Play around with the settings until you get the look you want. Once you're happy with your edit, the final step is to export your video. Go to the Export panel, which is usually on the left side. You'll see a long list of presets. For most online platforms like YouTube, the YouTube preset is a perfect choice. It automatically sets the right format, codec, and quality settings. Just select the YouTube preset and then click the Export File button. You'll be prompted to choose a name and a location to save your final video file. Click Save, and the exporting process will begin. You can monitor its progress in the Jobs panel on the right. Exporting can take some time, depending on the length and complexity of your video and the power of your computer, so be patient. And that's it. You've just gone from a blank project to a fully edited and exported video using Shotcut. We've covered setting up your project, importing media, basic trimming and splitting, working with multiple tracks, adding transitions, applying filters and text, and finally, exporting your masterpiece. Shotcut is an incredibly deep program with many more advanced features to explore, like keyframing for animation, but this foundation will get you well on your way to creating amazing content. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this tutorial was helpful and demystified the video editing process for you. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials and content creation tips. Happy editing, and I'll see you in the next one.